Okay, so once I've done my manicure, I'm going to have squeaked the nails, and then I would have painted the base coat on. So that's the stage I'm at. And then I've got my cuticle oil there in the picture and a cotton bud, and I'm just putting oil as a barrier around my finger. If I'm a messy painter, I can do it around the whole nail. So I'm just going to apply that around each cuticle. You might have to get some more oil. Apply it. This will protect your skin from the colour. Even with a longer nail, this is still easy to get on the skin. So we would have that ready. And then I normally use a little bit of nail varnish remover, and I'm just going to soak it in here. I'm just going to put that on a little bit of plastic, and then I'm going to apply. I don't have a white, so I'm going to use a colour, but it's the same thing. You can get some base coats, or you can get a pink that will allow you to cover any blemishes, or if somebody wanted a really soft white, you can put that on first, or you can put it on after the white. I'm just going to go with doing the base coat, and then I'm going to be applying my colour. So I'm going to start. I've got my finger, as you can see, leaning, so my little finger is leaning on the other one. If I was painting somebody else's nails, I'd have hold of that bottle, so I'm going to show you that on a hand trainer, how I would do that. And then I'm just going to gently apply it in the right place. So once I'm happy, I'm going to stop. I let the brush settle, and then I'm using the edge of the brush, and then I'm just going to drag that around my nail, and then I'm going to go from the other side and back round. This is where I can tidy it up if it's not really neat. And then I'm going to go on to the next finger. The idea is to completely cover the free edge of the nail. So it's allowing it to settle, and then drag it right the way around. And then with my nail varnish remover pad, you can see I've got it a little bit on the skin. I've also got oil on, so this is going to be super easy to get this off, and I'm not going to be drying out my client's fingers with the nail varnish remover either. I'm just going to use another cotton bud, dip it in my nail varnish remover, so I don't want to double dip because of cross infection, and come back and tidy up any that I've touched the skin with at all. You can see my French manicure. Sometimes you might need to do a second coat on them, and if you do need to do a second coat, then I've still got the other bit with oil on it, so just touch that back up with oil and then do a second coat once they're dried. So do one hand and then the other. Once they've dried off, then I would apply my top coat. So if you want to make them a little bit less white, you can use an off-white, or you can use a pink over the top to soften it. And or you can just use a top coat. So that's normally what people tend to prefer, is the just looking as white as possible. So once that's dried, I'm going to apply my top coat as we did before. So I'm going to start not quite at the cuticle, I'm going to bounce it and then drag it over the top. So bounce it, drag it. Sometimes when you're trying to do the colour, if you can't quite get it right around the cuticle, it might be because you're holding the nail too flat like this. If you bring it upwards rather than so flat, you're more likely to get that nice shape. And then lastly on the little finger. And there, a full French manicure with clean tips. And then again at the end, if you want to, you can just apply your cuticle oil just so they dry off properly. And you can just drop that over the top of the nail just to stop them smudging it. So apply it and then I allow it to run down the fingers. So apply it to the thumb, tip it down, allow it to run over the finger, and then that should stop them immediately smudging them.